Yo, we back. In Ski's opinion. A little change of scenery. Trying to get some things together, you guys. Get some better quality videos. I think gonna try to be a little bit more acclimated on this. I want to try to come a little bit more professional. Like I said, make these videos a little bit more appealing. So, this is In Ski's Opinion. This is a show about everything and nothing at all, where I go over today's trending topics, give my opinion on them. Hence the name of the show, In Ski's Opinion. So, first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna start at The Breakfast Club, talking about Young Thug's video call leak, audio call, his leak. Young Thug was caught on recording, talking to his fiance or girlfriend or whatever she is, to him about the way Glorilla looks. So, as it seems like Thug was doing, a video, talking about a time when, I'm all over the place. He was talking about a time when Glorilla first started, When Glorilla first started, she wasn't the most attractive. I wouldn't go as far as saying that she's ugly like he was saying about her. I think that was kind of foul for him to even, say what he said about her on there and how he would never pursue her or said that. I've heard some people on blogs saying like, Doug probably was saying that, so if his girl ever figure out that, or Glo was blowing up or something, and if they ever in the same place, he kind of letting her know you ain't got nothing to worry about, babe, because I think she ugly, But it's bullshit. The man been on audio calls from jail. He's bored. He calling his girl, give him some time away from the cell block, or if he was in his room on 23 Run, get him out of his room. He get on the phone, pass the time. He's sitting up in there rotting away. So I would say that, Thug was bored, and he's just yapping about all type of stuff. And that's what kind of sends me into what I'm gonna go into next. But anyway, I was listening to The Breakfast Club, and you see that Charlamagne and Jess and Lauren, I guess Lauren brought it up with her, the ladies with Lauren, about him calling the girl ugly. And Jess, like, she's not ugly, Some people say, some people say she looked like Rihanna, right? That ain't here and there, but I would say this: Glo had a really good glow up. I would say she looks, I would say, a lot better from when she first started out, which everybody looks better from when they first started out, And the money, can upgrade you. It can put you in a position to where you can fix yourself up. Things that might be off. Glo kind of had some funny looking teeth. She got those fixed. Her hairdos wasn't the best. She got really decent hairdos now, what they call them, like the lace fronts or whatever. She got the slickest ones now, but when she started, she looked crazy. We can't we ain't saying act like she always looked the way she looking right now. She did. So, Glow. So anyway, yes, they was talking back and forth, and Charlamagne, he's saying like, yeah, whatever, people speaking, and Jess said, she's pretty, she's not ugly, this and that. Like I said, I won't say that she's ugly. Was she a dime? Was she a 10 in the beginning? Now, I'll give you that, Glow. You're a 10 now. Hottie. But anyway, she said, yeah, she's not ugly. As if she's never been ugly. She always was pretty. I'm like, come on, Jess, you saying that because you was ugly. I'm sorry. But you were, and the money helped you. You admitted that you got your body done up. Everybody saw that picture with you with that ponytail and your lining on. I don't know what. You was looking rough. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But let's be realistic. Are you saying that because you know that you look terrible when you first came out, because you wasn't a hot commodity? Like I said, I think she looks a lot better now than what she did then. With the body blow up, she had a good glow up, I would say. Her skin is amazing. Your skin is amazing, Jess. It's flawless. I don't know if you doing the same thing, Charlamagne. You got the same dermatologist he got, to fix that skin complexion, but you shining, or you drinking your water. So I come out here to kind of like bash, but I just think it was funny, like, who y'all know that Jess was attractive, and everybody knows that Glorilla wasn't the most attractive, in the beginning. Now, they both, I could say, some dimes. They some 10s. So, like I said, that goes into my next thing. Everybody been paying attention to your Thug with all of these leaks. Like, somebody is dropping this stuff back to back to back, and this man, like, he talks so much about so much. The dude talked about Dirk. He talked about Baby. He talked about, I'll say Gunna. That looked funny when I was listening to the audio all the way through with him and 21 Savage, and he's like, yeah, hey, bro, you gonna put the verse on there? Like, you was basically almost begging 21 Savage to put a verse on the song that you sent them or whatever for the album. Bitches, yeah, I'm trying to come out the same day as Gunna, blocking. How you blocking your own money? You just said regardless, you get 50% of whatever the man make up any tape that he have out there. So why would you try to sabotage the man's album release? It's sabotaging your money. It's sabotaging the label's money. I'm quite sure 300 not agreeing with you on that, but you make your own decisions on when you want to come out. So they gonna get paid regardless. But I mean, for you to go back and forth with your own artist, regardless of however you're feeling, dude, it's a money thing. And 21 did give you some sound advice on that phone call. Like, you could have told that dude to come in and tell him he got to clean his face. Like he's saying, you got to give me more. What you did hurt me. You got me in the jam right now. We're going to have to renegotiate and fix this contract. I'm going to need 70% instead of 50. I want more of the money. Or I'm going to tarnish, right? Or I'm going to tarnish your career, your name. I'm going to dirty you up. But to not even have enough sense to even think like that, you was thinking, let me figure out how I can come out on the same day as him and hurt his situation, right? I'm gonna come out the same day as Gunna. Hey, dude, you sound stupid. I don't think he understood that. I don't think he really correctly caught that. You sound stupid. But anyway, Doug is spiraling right now at this point. Like, you done backstab so many people, you talk behind so many people back, and the thing that you was trying to do was just crucial. Like, all these people out here celebrate you. You said about Dirk, yeah, don't believe that free thug stuff. He ain't got nothing, he don't care about me, do acting funny. He ain't even answering the phone. Like, people don't have lives, man. You think he's sitting around waiting for your phone call? And he one of the hottest dudes in the game right now? And all you did for him, you know, well, did so much for you. Like, that boy, no, him. What is you talking about? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm here to say it. I don't know if nobody else gonna admit it. You done songs with him. Y'all bigged him up. You promoted his stuff. He did the same for you. But y'all was all on the come up, man. And he been doing what he was doing for years. But now you did everything for him? Fresh Montana didn't even say that. And he could say he did more for Dirk than you. As far as when he wasn't popping, he put the cosign on him with the Coke Boy thing. So if anybody got room to say that it's him, and he ain't saying that, how you gonna say that you did this or all you did for Dirk? This was crazy. But okay, that's how you feel. But he's spiraling, man. He's spiraling. All these audio leaks, all this stuff. Which brings me to my next subject I want to speak on. Somebody else who out there wilding out right now. But I'm appreciating who he is and who he's always been. And that would be Charleston White. I got a note on here. It says Charleston White versus Young Thug, Hernandez Govan, and the entire streets, right? I'm finna go into all of that, piece by piece. My opinion. Charleston White versus Young Thug. Charleston White spoke on how Young Thug was gonna snitch before everybody knew he was snitching. Before all of this interrogation, room tape and all that, he said, give him man 3-4 more months in the conditions that he living in, and he's gonna talk. So he called it. And now, he's kind of attacking him for coming that gunner because you was a hypocrite. And I gotta agree with Charleston White. And I fairly ever agree with Charleston White, you know, on the stuff that he's saying. He says a lot of good things, like I said, but he negates all of that with the dumb ish that he would put on top of it. You know, like he would go too far with it, I would say. And he said it's a ploy to get information out there to the people, you know, because that's the only way he can reach them. But so I'm not going to go into that because that's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, he read them. And he said, like, you're a hypocrite for coming that gunner. I got to agree. Now, I don't agree with people saying Gunner didn't snitch and Gunner didn't do anything wrong. He just did what he thought he needed to do to help him. He didn't think he was hurting him. Dude, you saying that y'all organization, the gang, hurts them. It hurts everybody. And like they're saying, him being the first one was a domino effect. It don't excuse nobody else's action, but dude, you started it. If Gunner gonna do it, I'm not gonna stand tall. He's not standing tall. He's the millionaire. This the dude who benefited the most off of Doug. Was Gunner. So why would I sit here and stand tall and he'll have to? So, you know, everybody jump ship. Start doing what they're doing. So, on that note, Gunner just as guilty as he is. You know, the smart thing is, what I do see is he's not responding to nothing. You know, he put it in the music when he wanted to, but he's not doing no interviews. He ain't out here jumping on Instagram or whatever, going live, talking about this or that. Look at you now. You talking about me, nigga, you doing the same thing. So, Gunna is kind of playing it smart. Now, Charleston White against her dad's Govan. One thing I gotta speak on this dude, Govan. Like, dude, you just beat a murder case. Murder for hire case. They called you the mastermind behind the death, and the killing of Young Dolph. Here's your case down there in Memphis. You just beat it. The day after you beat the case, you on Vlad TV. Talking about the case. Yeah, you can speak now, but why was your first thing to do was to go speak, get up on interviews to talk about what was going on in the case? Like, if they asked you what was you gonna do, what you gonna do now, Mr. Govan, you're a free man. You get to walk out of this courtroom free. And so he said, go kiss my son. So you went and kissed your son and then jumped on a flight? Because then you ran to Vlad TV. And then from Vlad to the next person, to the next person, to the next. It's a money grab, dude. Now you finna play the game as if you was wronged. And who knows? Like, I mean, I guess they're saying that the evidence and everything against you was weak. So, I mean, I guess maybe, yeah. It probably was weak or whatever, or maybe you didn't do anything. I can't say one way or another, but you look real stupid right now. You jump online with the guy 79. You try to check him in the slick old school type way, and say, "Let's check you." Imagine this thing told you he'll slap you. Don't nobody talk to me like that. You better ask somebody. These shows is not taking that, man. You never just say whatever you think you want to say, and then you're saying you didn't have nothing to do with it, but you're trying to play the boogeyman. You're trying to put fear in people as if, like, you basically acting as if I done this, but I got away with it. So y'all know what I did to him. So now I'm gonna try to punk a guy. I'm gonna kick pork chops up out you. Like, that was pretty funny when he said, "I'm gonna kick pork chops up out you." But you going about it wrong, man. I was watching my brother. Shout out to him, Unique Mech Audio, old school OG. He said a lot of good things, man, that y'all need to be listening to, both of y'all. Like Saturday nights, you need to go speak with what's my man name, Unique Mech Audio. Because that brother had made a lot of sense in what he was saying. I mean, the stuff that you was on there talking about, and shouldn't have been. Like, he spoke on how you understood that this man is on crash out time. And that's what it's saying, like, to me, for you to run from fight for your life, to jump on TV to check, or jump on the internet to check, or go to these interviews or whatever, to speak your mind on certain things and what you want to say about where you come. And then to tell it, man, yeah, my bad. But to tell it, man, you're going to be in LA when you see him, you're going to kick the pork chops out and stuff. I like it. That was a pretty slick joke. You clever on that. I like that. Skillful. But for you to tell him that, like Unique said, if anything happened to that young brother while you out that way, you know who they coming to see. And then the same thing to you, said it, you won't put money on his head, right? Bro, anything would have happened to Govan, while he was out there, they was coming to holler at you. Because you said it on the internet, in front of thousands of people, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the money on, I'll pay the ops, you know? But, so yeah, you just put a target on yourself if something happened to him. And then now, on the other end, then you're gonna have trolls at you because now, and a little bit on at Govan too. But Govan, I would say, it's a little different because I would say it's a little different for Govan because he's all the way in LA. He's not from LA. So it's not his place to know how to find Ceddy Nash, right? As Yo said, you're supposed to make yourself available if you really wanted to get with him or whatever. So he got the leverage to say that, you know, you was had, right? But then now on the other end, like I said, I'm glad nothing did happen and you used your head, you know. Because if something would have happened, like I said, they was coming for you. But now that you didn't do nothing and you said you was, it's the trick bag. That's the turn part of it, right? Now you weak. Oh, he just be woofing. He said he gonna do this or he gonna do that. He better not. Told that man he better not come to California. That's what you said, Ceddy. And now all these dumb trolls gonna jump online, if they haven't already been doing it, and saying, hey, you know, Ceddy Nash, you just talking ish. Govan stood on business. He came out there too. You didn't do nothing to him, right? And it started something different. Then now they got Young crashing out, you know, trying to prove himself, like Unique said. So, like I said, I suggest both of you guys go talk to the OG. He had put his number up there on the screen for y'all to get in contact with him. Call that number. Get some real game from somebody who went to jail 26 years. And Govan, you about bro age. You know, you up there. You younger than Unique, but so you can still come get some game from OG to an older G. You know what I'm saying? And go talk to him about your crash out. Like he said, he's playing a story about his brother, you know, and him at a point where he wanted to crash out. So I'm going to say, go talk to that brother. Shout out Unique Mecca Audio. Y'all go check out Unique Mecca Audio on YouTube. And his daughter, Juanita Mecca Audio. Shout out. My next topic will be Dame Dash and Cam. Dame and Cam is back at it again. So Dame came on his network, you know, American U. He got a new show called Bosses Take Losses. I like that title. It's dope. Y'all go check that out. The episode that I guess he's gonna start doing on there, other than, you know, what's going on now with him and Dame. But I saw part 1 and part 2 of Dame respond to Cam, clowning him on Talk with Fleet. So Dame jumped on the thing, part 1, and he break down how, you know, he appreciate Cam, you know, talking about him like that in a disrespectful manner, and him being his OG or his brother, his Harlem brother, you know, that he's helped, and always spoke up for him instead of talking about his business on the internet, you know, on the show for ratings and to make money. He felt like Cam should have called him. I can't say I disagree with that. You know, a lot of this stuff is starting to seem a little weird with them going back and forth like that. Like even giving people like myself something to talk about now, right? We could talk about, from me being from the older generation, I'm gonna say, I never thought that I would see the day that these two would be clashing in the fashion that they clash. No, let me stop. But I never thought I'd see this. Never thought I'd see the day where Dame Dash and Cameron is going back and forth. Dame saying derogatory things, you know, subliminal things at Cam, and Cam being bold and out there, speaking bad and down on Dame, saying, you know, he mismanaged his money from what he can see and all of that. And Dame coming back to say, you never saw me mismanage money. while he was doing that, he said they had made profits or this and that, and you wasn't in their financial situation, to know if he was mismanaging it, right? Well, the things that he was doing would cause for people to say, hey, that sounds like mismanagement. I just saw Wayno, another person, give a shout out to. I like your show, Wayno. Everybody go check that out on YouTube. I do it myself. Wayno. Wayno said something that made a lot of sense. He said he worked for Rockefeller, and Dane came in the office one day and said, I just flew on 3 private jets today. 40 grand, 40 bands a pop. You do the math. Sounds like a mismanagement of money. And Wayno asked, to me, same thing. I think that it was a mismanagement of money, right? But Wayno, hold on a second. Okay. Wayno made a good point, on that would look like that to people. So, right, you doing things like that, having 2 condos in Tribeca, says right next door to each other or on the same block or something, that $20,000. That's a waste of money. So I get that, but I also got to come back and say I kind of get what Dane's saying as well. He don't understand why you would speak like that or speak down on the person who helped you. But then he came back with a challenge, on Cam. And he said Cam, he don't feel like made any hit records after he left Rockefeller. He don't feel like Cam has ever made any hit movies or whatever that he's done either without Rockefeller or in the paid for any movies that he put him in. So he said he challenging Cam to come out with a hit song and come out with a movie that people would like. Why he's saying people didn't like Honor Up, and he talked about his movie, he's saying that ain't nothing that Cam been in has been good. And I can't all the way agree with that. I like Killer Season, the hood movie. Kind of loosely based on their lives or whatever in Harlem. Cam life anyway in Harlem, but I can't say I know of anything else that he's been in that's been like, oh, wow, Cam snapped in that. I can't say that. So Dane might have a point on that. So Dane said that he feel that Cameron is sensitive. He said that's what most of the people say about him. So he kind of take everything personal. He speaks on things from a emotional point of view or whatever. He said he even had Cam crying, which I can't say, no, I just don't see it, with Cam seeming like he's the most unbothered person that I've watched on TV, I can't see him crying, but who's to say who people is behind closed doors or outside of being on film. So, they've been going back and forth. Cam hasn't responded yet. He hasn't put out anything. I haven't seen anything anyway with a response to what Dane has been saying as of late. So another part of it that Dane mentioned that I wanted to mention, I can't remember right now, it's slipping my mind on what he said, but it made a lot of sense to me. So I will be paying attention to this back and forth. Hopefully these 2 brothers could probably try to figure out a way to get it together, because I will say that we all do better when we click up together, we all seem to move better, that way as one. And that's how people came into this. He helped that man when, when he was in the gym. Sound like Caroline has tried to repay the favor, over the years with things that he's done for Dame. So I'm not going to say anything bad about either one of them. I can't say Cam is 100% wrong, and I will not say that Dame is 100% or wrong at all for feeling the way that he feel about, him being spoken on like that. So I say both brothers got a valid point that I think need to be sat down and talked out in a reasonable way to where y'all can come up with a better resolution than the back and forth that's going on, no matter how entertaining it is. It's entertaining as shit. Oh my God, it's entertaining. So that's where I'm going to go with that. And the last thing that I'm going to touch on today, ladies and gentlemen, will be Funk Flex rant about DJs Enough firing. Hot 97 has shook up their whole entire roster over there in that building. They let go of Enough. They switching up slots. Flex is going from 7 to 5 to 11. 5 to 10. Ebro and them are going from 5 to 10 to 5 to 11. And the midday show is going from 11 to 5, I think. So they're making the most popular shows run longer. Cutting calls with, I guess they fell in situations that didn't need to be there. Flex going this rant about how, Enough was fired and he feel like he was snaked and this and that. But at the same time, while Flex talking about how bad he feel for his brother, he's steady bringing up a snake move that his brother did to DJ Red Alert years early. I understand what he's saying, and it kind of sounds like he's trying to throw his karma, the dirty thing, the slick deed that you did to Red Alert, you and Angie Martinez, has came back to haunt you. It's bit you, When Angie left, Flex said you came to him and said, don't let me get swallowed up in the sauce. Don't let me lose my job. Flex, help me out. Don't let them swoop me up out of here. And Flex said he would be there for his brother. And supposedly he was. But like I said, as he was ranting and telling the story and saying how displeased he was with Enough being let go, he did make it a point to keep reiterating what happened to Red Alert. So he wanted to say, you kind of reap what you sow, right? That's kind of what Flex was saying to Enough. Enough jumped online and said that Flex is the reason why he got fired. He believed Flex did some things that got his job taken from him. Even though Flex go on there saying that he didn't have anything to do with it. But the slick way how he kept bringing up the thing with DJ Red Alert and Enough, DJ Enough, shows me that he's kind of throwing that back in his face. He's saying, this is karma. Whether it was 10, 15, 20 years later, this is karma. This is your karma for what you did to my brother Alert, right? And now Flex supposed to be the creative program director at Hot 97 right now. And they saying that since Ebro either stepped down or was was demoted or moved over to just the morning shows as a program director. They're in a better shape right now. They're actually leading in the ratings. They said Enough was killing. That's what Petey Roseberry said. It don't even matter, It's supposed to be about numbers. If you're getting up hot numbers, then you should be secure. But that don't matter because Enough was doing hot numbers, and he wasn't secure. Well, Ebro went on and said Flex is the reason why Enough lost his job as well. He's exposing what really was going on. Flex rant, he said to him, was all BS. And he feel like he may be next. That Flex is eliminating all competition up there at the radio station to lead the way for him to remain on the radio because he wants to be on the radio that bad. That's how Ebo said it too. He said he wants to be on the radio that bad, So he gonna cut through everybody right now. That's my Ebro. But anyway, that's his take on it. I don't know, neither here nor there, but I would say this. Enough is saying that Flex was involved. Ebro saying that Flex is involved. Flex saying he's not involved, and he's upset by how the way that Enough was done. But he made it his business to point out that Enough did the same thing to Red Alert. Which kind of makes me feel like, Flexi, I think you might have pulled some BS, my guy. Yeah, I think he might have did something. That's sad. He avenged, that's it. It's just my opinion, and I'm saying if he actually has something to do with Enough getting fired, he avenged a vendetta or a gripe that he had with Enough for like a decade and a half or 2 decades. But you didn't give or get Red Alert back on 97. But you got him back I got him back for you, bro. You know how I do. I gets up in that. We don't play. Drop a bomb on that. Boom. That's my flex. But yeah, if he did that to me, that's a sucker-ish. In this day and age, and it sounds like he's trying to protect himself. He's trying to keep himself in a prime position. But to me, I'm just being honest. Like, I think radio is still very much relevant. I listen to it all the time when I drive in to work. Breakfast Club, I listen to Hot 97, WGCI. I'm from Chi. So, GCI, baby. But I still listen to it, and I think they said, 90 million people or something like that? 90% or something like that of the workforce who's driving it, they listen to the radio. So, it's still very much relevant when people be saying it's dead. The youngsters don't care about that. You know what I'm doing? They don't got no job. They ain't driving in nowhere. So, they never really been a huge part of the radio where it counts as far as keeping the numbers there and sponsorship money coming into the station because of the large audience, right? It's always been the ride and drive crew. The morning and then, the afternoon when people come home from work, late afternoon or into the evening. So the school kid, they in school half the day, so that time is kind of dry. And then when they going to school, they on the bus or they walking and they talking to their friends. They not listening to the radio, So Or if they was listening to it, like a lot of us was coming up, you was in the car on your way to school when your mom was going to work or whatever, you know. So that's how you became radio. And then to us, that's all we had was radio back then. So yeah, we was into the radio. So yeah, I would say, but probably in the next 10 to 15 years, the workforce changing, we starting to transition into retirement, you know, age where we're not driving as much, but we still to the radio too, because 55 plus is a big demographic for radio listeners. So that's why I say give it 15 to 20 years, I would say, and then maybe you might start seeing those cracks of radio probably being obsolete, because this new generation will be coming in and they'll beat that group that's the larger group of listeners to the radio. And if they don't listen to the radio, they just listen to playlists and things like that just to hear the songs that they want to hear, then yeah, it's done. It's over. But then radio is always a positive. So I think I'm going to end it there with Funk Flex and, you know, the state of radio. And that is that. Those are my opinions on those topics as of now. I think I will be back on sometime this weekend. Don't quote me on that, but I should be right back with another episode of Ansky's Opinion. Peace and chicken grease. No, let me stop. But I would like to ask you guys to like, run me up the algorithm, subscribe, get those numbers up. I'm still trying to race towards 10,000 subs, and follow and share. Push me out there. To the world, I think I have something to say. I think my opinion may help some. And I think that if you enjoy anything that I am doing on here, as my man Wayno said, like, subscribe, run up those follow. Peace. Excuse the pain. I'm out.